Hello and happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome. Today, I am Shane, and yesterday I was Shane too, and tomorrow, likely, I will also be Shane. And I have with me the purveyor of the It Store, not the It Store from the 80s mall, and not the Gap, and not anything like that. But I have with me Doug, actually. How you doing, Doug?
I'm doing great, Shane. How are you?
Good. The reason I bring up the It Store
Yeah, I'd love to know the story behind that.
Well, it's your t-shirt. Tell me about your t-shirt and where anybody can get that.
Oh, this t-shirt. This t-shirt is a sorry I'm late. I didn't want to come. And I feel that way a lot. And I think a lot of other people tend to feel that way. You've mentioned that when you saw it earlier, you're like, does it come in my size? So you're like, where do I get it? Yeah, so we're going to be launching a DLB Lifestyles shop soon, and this will definitely be on there for purchase. So as soon as that store is up and running, Shane, I'll get one shipped directly to your home, just like Amazon.
Hey, that's sweet, man. I appreciate that. Hey, Bia, how you doing? Nice to see you.
Hey, Bia.
Welcome. Yeah, do you remember the It Store?
I totally do. I love that as a kid because I remember kind of being in high school, and there was one uptown where my high school was, and that's kind of like when The Simpsons came out and everything was Simpsons. I just thought it was cool. And then there was like a lot of inappropriate stuff where I was like, ooh, that's inappropriate.
I remember there was things like itching powder and whoopee cushions and decks of cards with cards missing and fake vomit and t-shirts and posters. And like, is this only a Canadian thing?
I don't know. It was just kind of a junk store, really, but like a novelty junk store that tried to look like a proper.
There that say number 2 dad and shit like that.
Yeah. That's pretty awesome, actually.
That's all right. What are we working on today, Doug?
Going back to my roots, I think I'm going to do a lot of figure drawing and painting and just feel kind of loose and kind of chill and just like a lot of black and white figurative art. So some naked ladies, some naked men, some beautiful bodies up here on the paper.
Look at my beautiful body. Do you know that song?
No, but I just got introduced to it.
Yeah, it's because I just made it up.
Oh, it's amazing. You're good on the spot.
Well, welcome back, Bia. Last week was fun. We had a good time. I'm glad you're here, though. We missed you last week.
Yeah, it was lonely without you.
I'm looking up the It Store now, and there is some crazy stuff that went on in there.
Woo! Naked bananas. Where's my banana?
Hey. My beautiful body. That banana got some traction on the socials.
Did it ever? Look at this. There's a naked banana.
Oh, you can't see it. You're holding it up to the wrong camera.
Oh, you want it on this camera?
Put it on the art camera, Doug.
What's that?
Look how beautiful that is. You know. Oh, good times.
People liked it.
Yeah, I mean, like, I gotta tell you, and this is not. I'm not here to fluff your ego. I mean,
clearly,
but the fact that you did that in whatever we had, 6 minutes?
I believe it was around that.
Yeah, from an idea that was given to you like minutes before that.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty impressive, I gotta say.
Thank you.
And it is. Like, you, like Bia says, the sexiest banana she's ever seen. It just kind of.
Thank you.
I was like, I don't know. I didn't like bananas before, but.
Woo! Get me a bunch. Now that you've liked that banana, would you get some plantains now? Take it up a notch?
Oh, okay. Well, here's the thing. I'm not a huge fan of banana flavored anything, but I like plantains and I like starchier fried, like the savory bananas, if you want to call them that.
Yep.
I like that stuff.
Cool.
I don't know what it is about the sweet, like yellow Chiquita banana that, like, it's got to be more green to me, which is less sweet. Less of the sugars have less of the starches have been turned to sugar. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I'm a little different. I like the sweet stuff.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm more of a savory person. Savory.
Yeah.
We need to do something about the camera. We can't really see the lines.
Oh, well, that's
I
fair.
don't know if maybe it's lighting or maybe I can zoom it in a little bit.
Maybe I'll pop the lighting off, but it'll darken up soon.
Oh, will it? This is just like sketching the outside.
Yeah, how's
We're
that?
not
Is that better?
Missing much?
You're not missing it. No, we should just talk. Is this better or worse?
I don't know. Can you get to go back the other way? Team Green Banana. Team Green Banana.
I think this is better, but it'll get dark soon. I promise.
Okay.
I'm just putting some landmarks in.
Yeah, I just don't want us to miss anything. If we should be being able to see these lines, then I'd like to see
Well,
these
I mean, no, not really. But I mean, I just really wish you'd stop wrecking my creative process. But it's okay.
This is the problem when you put your creative process in front of people. They'll inevitably wreck it.
Yeah.
And it'll be for stupid things like, oh, but I don't like that color. Yeah, okay, man. It's fine.
Yeah. I don't recall asking.
Yeah, it's not about you. Although it is.
It is, yeah. It's always about you. All right.
Oh, there was an It store in Claremont, Florida. But it's not the same It store.
Oh, good to know. Well, I'm gonna start like hammering in some stuff now.
Did you spend a lot of time in the mall as a child?
No, because I lived in the country, so going to the mall was like a big deal. Like I was like, holy shit, we're going to the mall. Like all those '80s movies about how kids get excited to go to the mall. That was me.
Yeah. I mean, I was that way. We had a mall. Like, I lived in a fairly large suburb.
Yeah, you were in the Ontarios.
Toronto, yeah.
What one were you in?
We lived in Oakville.
Oh, yeah. My friend Donnie's. Yeah. You met Donnie before. He's from there.
Yeah, I know. We talked about it.
I'm sure you have. I just probably wasn't paying attention.
But the mall was part of the, you know, you get your parents to drop you off at the mall and then you'd spend the day in the mall. And it's like you and your buds would go to the food court and have a bite to eat. And you go shopping.
Would you go to the
Really
movies?
shopping, just like wandering around. And then there'd be a movie theater. You'd be like, want to see a movie? Yeah, let's do it. Let's go see a matinee of The Land Before Time.
Or Goonies or whatever.
Or Goonies. God, I love that movie.
Yeah, it's good times.
I wonder, I would love to watch that again to see how it feels now as an old man.
Why don't you come over and we'll do it?
You want to? That'd be great, man.
Totally,
Drink and watch the Goonies.
Yeah, maybe we could live stream it.
Yeah. Robin Sparkles, was that she was Canadian too, right? That's from the How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys. That's from Goonies.
Yeah. It is.
Oh my goodness. The Goonies cast, where are they now? Are we going to go through this?
Yeah, let's do it, whatever. I don't even remember who was on that show, like as far in terms of actors. Do you?
Yes.
Wow.
You know, have you seen the Lord of the Rings trilogy?
Yes. I worked on the Hobbits.
Right. So you know Sam.
Yeah.
The guy that played Sam was in the Goonies.
He was also Rudy in the movie of the same name.
He was Rudy and Rudy?
Yeah. You ever see the football movie Rudy?
Yes. He was a tiny man playing a big man's game.
Oh, you've seen it.
Josh Brolin was the older brother.
Oh, I'm a big fan of him.
So Sean Astin was Mikey. Josh Brolin was the older brother. Obviously, Corey Feldman, you know.
Well, I mean, we used to hang out. And
Yeah.
stuff, yeah.
He was in that vampire movie with my friend.
Yeah.
And then I don't think Chunk ever made it out of that.
That's fair.
And Jonathan Kekwan, who was Data.
Oh.
I'm not sure if he did anything else after. And then of course, Mama Fratelli was Anne Ramsey. She was on Throw Mama from the Train and a bunch of amazing comedy movies. And Martha Plimpton. You know, the really unique looking older sister's friend.
Yep.
And then the bad guys. Do you remember the bad guys?
Kinda. I mean, I don't remember who played them. I just remember them like in the movie.
Yeah, the one guy was like, he was in the Matrix. You know, the guy with the, I don't know, he's got like a unique face. Who's in Memento, The Matrix. What's his name? Joe Pantalones.
I'll take it.
Old Joey Pants.
Pantalones. I love it.
Oh man, he's one of those guys that is in everything.
Yeah. Is he the one that was like? Was he Mr. Anderson in The Matrix?
No, he was the one that sold them out.
Oh yeah. He was always a bad dude and everything, wasn't he?
Yeah, he plays a bad dude or a dude that you're just like, get out of here, you know?
Right. Yeah.
He was in. Yeah, he's done so much stuff. He was in The Sopranos.
Yeah.
What else is here? Bad Boys for Life. Those bad boys.
Yeah.
Memento. That's a good one.
I've never seen that through and through, if I'm being completely honest.
Oh, it's worth the watch if you can get in the mood.
What mood do I need to get into?
Yeah, that's a good question. The mood where you're like, man, I like to get right fucked up but not do drugs. But maybe do drugs. Yeah, let's do drugs. That mood.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
Yeah. What else was this guy in?
He's like the guy you're like, Mom, don't date him. Mom, don't, Mom. Don't.
Yeah. It's like,
Mom.
I don't know, there's something off about that guy.
And then you come home and he's barbecuing in your backyard. And you're like,
He was in Risky Business. What? But you're right. He always plays like a weirdly nerdy bad guy.
yeah.
Old Joey
He's trying
Pants.
to date your mom. Joey Pantalones.
So I was trying to date my mom. Who was
Linda's
in
not
MASH?
into you. He wasn't in MASH.
Yeah, he was in MASH.
He's
Trying to
not
see
that
who he
old,
was.
is he?
Let me pull him up for you because I want to make sure that you're thinking of the same guy I'm thinking of. I'm trying to find out who he was. Maybe he was just a guest star or something.
There's a guy on MASH that kind of looked like him.
No, I think like Jeffrey Tambor was on MASH. Do you remember him on MASH?
He looks like this guy I do.
Hold on, let me pull up Joey Pantalones.
Oh, good. I like this new setup we have. Is this working for you, B? Does this this new layout and setup work?
Now he'll be on your search too.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
guy.
Yep.
Joey Pantalones.
Wouldn't have thought he was old enough to be on MASH. Maybe he was a small child. Maybe he's a hell of a
Oh,
lot
I
older
see
than I
what
think
you're
he is.
saying. Yeah. He was probably a young man that came in as a
On a stretcher. And Hot Lips Houlihan brought him back to life.
yeah, exactly.
I could have wrote
Or
that show.
I was gonna say, or Alan Thicke cried over him. It's not Alan Thicke.
It's Alan Alda.
Alan Alda. Very different.
Well, yeah. I would guess. So for these, Shane, I'm just kind of using some thinned out, actually black acrylic paint, and I'm kind of just putting in a wash of kind of where I want some shadows and kind of just like blocking in the shapes and the weight, the depth. So I'm just kind of going to go over in layers just to kind of like add in the darkness where I really want it to be for the shadows. And then I'll go in a bit later with some other materials and really kind of carve all this out.
What other materials?
Probably charcoal, maybe some ink.
I was just gonna say that. Like I knew what I was talking.
You do know what you're talking about because you talk to me too much.
Well, that's rude.
No, I meant you probably feel that
Maybe
way.
I'll take a break. I feel good.
Oh, okay, good. Whew.
I popped up Joey Pantalones on the screen there for a minute.
Oh. There you go.
Oh, Joey Pantalones.
I hope you guys become friends.
He probably has heard the Joey Pantalones thing before and would not be happy with it.
Maybe he
It's
hasn't heard it from you.
Pantoliano? Oh my god. I don't
You're
know.
a linguist.
Yeah, what does this say here? Can you see this?
Well, you got to stop moving it. Pantoliano.
Yeah, pantalones. Right. Okay, cool.
Right.
So we're on the same page.
Mm-hmm. So is this reading better on screen now?
Oh yeah, it's yeah. That I was just worried at the initial because like
No, it's good. I'm glad you have my back and you care.
yeah, I want everybody to see the amazing art stylings.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I just gotta let it dry for a hot minute.
Okay, that sounds good.
Rowie! How's it going?
Hey, Rowie, how you doing? Nice to see you. How's things this time of day?
No snakes, I hope.
What time of day is it?
Early morning. Hey, are you near Adelaide, Rowie? Doug. Get this dry. I'm not bad. I'm at uni at the moment. Oh, cool.
It's not that early.
Uh,
What time is it? What time is it? Ah, Brisbane.
Gotcha.
I spent some time there.
Have you spent any time in Adelaide, Shane?
Yeah, I spent a little bit of time in Adelaide.
How'd you like it?
You know what? It feels a lot like Halifax.
Oh, interesting. Only better weather though.
There's a lot of hills down towards the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of felt the same.
Interesting.
9:20, that's not bad. 9:20 in the morning or in the evening? That
Morning.
doesn't make any sense. How have the streams been going, Rowie? What's been happening? I got a couple of notifications, but I couldn't come by, unfortunately. The times just haven't matched up, but I'd love to stop in at some point. So hopefully the times will mash up at some point.
Maybe you just need to stay up a little later, Shane.
I don't know if it's that or if I just need to not have a job.
That's fair.
Why do you ask about Adelaide?
Kind of thinking about maybe checking it out sometime once all this is over and done with.
It's really nice. Every spot that I went to in Australia, I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
Some I spent longer than others, obviously, because I had to work.
Mm-hmm.
Closest to you, Rowie, would be I spent a fair amount of time. Well, I spent some time in Brisbane, but only I think maybe 6 or 7 days. But I spent 2.5 months in Hervey Bay.
That sounds like a fun place. Was Harvey a good fella?
It was fun. It was
Cool.
definitely fun. I had a lot of fun. That's the location that my job was party starter.
You've mentioned this.
It's 7:22 in Halifax. 7:22
In the PM.
Yeah, I worked at a hostel at the bar, and my job was to start the party. And so during the day, I would go around to all the rooms at the hostel. It was a fairly large hostel. All the rooms, and I would talk to all the people. Be like, "Hey, how's it going today? What's going on? We've got this on for dinner. It's $7.50 for a meal, and then we're gonna play some games in the bar afterwards. So get your stuff ready. Be down there by 9:30, and we'll get kicking." And then I would run games, like drinking games and dancing games, and
So really not much has changed for you in your life.
yeah, I do that every day. But now it's a party of one.
Well, hey, you're starting this party every week. And you're playing games with all the people and friends of ours online. And I don't think you're discouraging any of them from drinking when they hang out with us. So I think you've had a long life career of this and you just never realized it.
Yeah, I am party director.
PD.
The old PD. Hot damn.
Was that what was the jam that got everybody up?
Oh, without a doubt. And it's because, so there was usually 3 bartenders on. And
wow.
so
for a hostel?
Yeah. No,
wow.
the bar was like all the other hostels that didn't have bars would come to our bar.
Okay.
Like we would have a pretty full room by the end of the night. But the one that we did, because we made up a whole dance for it and everything, we'd dance on the tables, was Blame It on the Boogie by the Jackson 5.
And did you have to choreograph your own dance to this and teach other people to get them up so they would feel comfortable, or was there dancing involved on your part?
Yeah, so I probably shown you this at some time. There's specific moves. So when it goes sunshine, you bring your arms up over your head, and then when it goes moonlight, it's down low, but you got to go moonlight, like you got to hit both those words. And then, so don't blame it on the sunshine, don't blame it on the moonlight, don't blame it on the good times, which is like you pump your but with some pelvic, and it's more of a both arms.
Oh, like really good times.
Yeah, good times. That's right. And then boogie is like both your arms are going like train wheels, and then you slowly shimmy down.
Like this?
Yeah, but shimmy like straight down.
Oh, like this.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
you got
okay. So let's go through that again.
Okay, so sunshine.
Yep.
Like you would as a child, where you go
sunshine?
your arms
like this?
From crossed up over your head. Yeah. Bring them up. Yeah, but do it in a circle.
Like this?
Like a sun would be rising. You never did that as a kid? The sun rises?
What are you talking about? No.
Oh my God, you need to see me.
I really do.
You know what? I'll show you next time we're together. Remind me. I'll show you the dance and we'll bring it back.
So is it like this? Like this? Sunrise?
No, how can I explain this?
I want to do your dance.
Okay, put your palms facing out Now cross your hands over each other. Now bring it closer to your body. Now, bring those up and out. Over your head and out.
Oh.
Sunshine.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right? And moonlight is the opposite of that. So your arms are palms out, crossed over the other way.
Okay.
Upside down. Turn them upside down. Yeah, keep them crossed though. Cross them over, like naturally. Yeah. And then when you go moonlight, you bring them out a little bit, stop, bring them back and out again. So moonlight.
Moonlight?
No, out like you're gonna do. It's the same
Moonlight?
motion, the circle, but from the bottom. It's the same circle, but
Moonlight.
from the bottom.
Like
Yeah.
this.
So, but when you start the circle, you gotta come back a little bit. You gotta do a little stutter. Hey, I'll show you. It's gonna be great. And then you got the other two, good times, and then the boogie. You got
Good times.
Yeah.
Those two I'm got. I'm good with those. It's the sun and the moon.
Don't blame it on the moonlight. Don't blame it on the good times. Blame it on the boogie. And then, of course, everybody after they saw that 3 times would just be like, whoop. What's going on with your weather in Australia? What do you mean it's getting kind of dumb? Is it hot?
It'd be summer.
I bet it'd be hot. You don't want to travel to Australia. Lots of animals just want to kill you. Absolutely. I saw one the other day. There was a kangaroo in the middle of a pond up to its neck. And the caption was, don't be fooled. If a kangaroo is being pursued, he'll go into the water and wait till you follow him and then drown you.
Oh my God.
It's like, oh my goodness.
Wow.
Yeah, teaching choreography over voice only, it is not good. It's 35 degrees today. That sounds fun. It's a bit hot.
It's a bit hot.
That's a bit hot. But I have a lake, so I would just get in the lake. Although not if there was I was going to say raccoon. If there's a raccoon in there trying to drown me. If there's a kangaroo in there trying to drown me.
I have an otter in my river. And some seals.
You have an otter there?
Yeah, he kind of lives down below the cottage.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I saw him. It was crazy. So I was like looking at the water, and all of a sudden I saw the water break, and I'm like, holy shit, that's a shark. Because the river does meet up with the ocean.
Yeah.
And it just was like...
And there has been sharks in there, by the way.
Oh, good. Yeah, no, down by Crescent Beach, yeah. So, and then I just saw this thing like breaking towards the shore, and I'm like, that's weird. And then when he came ashore, I was like, oh, that's cool. But they're vicious.
Otters?
Oh, yeah.
They're so cute.
Mm-hmm.
Seals are cute too, and they'll bite your face off.
Correct. And like, so you go paddleboarding in there, and you're kind of like, I don't know if I should be here.
35 degrees. Hot. Dry heat? Is it a dry heat?
Yeah, that would change things.
I spent some time in Airlie Beach during the wet season, and I remember showering, getting out of the shower, starting at the top, drying myself off, and by the time I got to my knees, the top was soaked again.
Wow.
It's just because it's like humidity is like 80%, and it's like 31, 32, 33 degrees. It's just, so sticky and gross. It's like you got to spend the rest of your time in the water. You got to spend your time in the water. That's how it works.
I think that makes sense.
65% humidity. Ugh.
That's warm. All right, Shane.
That is a lot. Oh my God! Good job.
Gotta get this right. There we go.
Ooh. Do you want the main
no, you're fine.
old people.
See, you're a party starter.
You would need air conditioning in Australia. That's just like you need heat in Canada. You need air conditioning in Australia.
Yeah, like when I lived in the same thing when I lived in Singapore, it was like I'd wear a shirt to work, a different shirt at work, and another shirt on the way home because it was just so humid.
Yeah, and you're just sweating the whole time. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah, great weight loss program.
6 showers. Yeah, it was all water weight, Doug.
Yeah, I know. It all came back as soon as I ate rice.
Although I will say that it's probably good for appetite suppressing.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I don't eat as much when I'm warm. Do you?
Probably. It probably doesn't matter. You just have to pick the right foods, I think, at that point.
Right, you just have to pick summer foods, or as it were.
Yeah, something bright, fresh.
Oh yeah.
I do like the fish in the summer.
You're a big fish taco guy, aren't you?
Oh, I love a taco. Can't go wrong with tacos. It doesn't matter the type.
Okay.
Like it's in Austin, Texas.
Oh yeah, I like Austin.
And I couldn't
together?
stop getting tacos. No, I went for
No.
South by Southwest alone.
Oh yeah, I went with Janet.
Oh, to the same thing?
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, Shane and I used to work together. So, they sent Janet and I.
Sorry.
Oh, okay. Brisbane works. Yeah, no, that's fine. It brought my attention to chat, and that's where it needed to be. So thank you.
But sorry, you and Janet went where?
To Austin for the design stuff, and it was cool. I enjoyed Austin.
I thought it was fantastic. I really enjoyed my time there. The food was really good. I did a ton of walking.
Yeah, it's a great walking city.
My Airbnb wasn't close to the city. It was like a 25-minute walk, and I would just walk to the city and then, of course, walk around like crazy once you're downtown and in the areas. And, when it's South by Southwest, every place has something going on, and it's either food or music, or I saw a crap ton of comedy when I was there.
Oh, really?
I saw people that, like, on one bill, I saw like 5 of my favorite comedians on the same bill, and they all did like 15 minutes, and it was like, this is amazing.
Oh wow, that's really cool.
Byron Bay, I've been to Byron Bay, and I did that's where I did surfing. I did a surfing lesson, and I got up on the board. They gave me a humongous board. They gave me the biggest. They had to go into the thing and get me the biggest board they could find. And I actually managed to get up, and then I went and got a lamb kebab wrap from this place, and I took like 5 bites of it as I was walking away, and I turned around and I bought another one before I was finished the first one because it was so delicious.
Cool.
Do you guys watch football? Do you watch football, Doug?
North American or European? It
or
doesn't
Australian
matter. I don't watch either, so I don't know why I asked. I just wanted to sound like
rugby. You ever watch the rugby?
I went to the Rugby Sevens when I lived in New Zealand. They were there that year, and it was awesome. It's the first time I kind of watched professional rugby. It was super fun.
You'd like to live in the Vancouver area. Read the climate is very mild. Yes, it is mild-ish. Temperature gets under 10 degrees, you're always freezing. And if it's over 20 degrees, you're sweating like hell. Yeah, I feel like you're overheating.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks to the autoimmune condition. Yeah, that would... be hard. Like, what's the if you don't mind me asking, and if you do, just tell me to f off. What's the autoimmune condition that you have? Those are difficult because your body's like, no, I'm gonna fight you, and she's like, but it's me.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm awesome because we're connected.
If you guys come up, tickets to Aussie football. I saw us. I didn't get to go to a game, but obviously it's on a lot of the bar TVs when you're around the
Yeah.
bars and kicking it. So I did watch a fair bit of it, and Aussie rules football is something else. The thing that I liked about it was they would take you and just chuck you up into the air to catch the thing. Like your whole team, you get 5 guys, and they'd throw you up in the air to grab that thing, and then like you get knocked out from under you. You do 5 flips and land on your feet and go.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Sounds a lot like your bar days.
Hashimotosis kills your thyroid. Oh no.
Oh no.
Well, I'm sorry you have to live with that. That's
Yeah.
unfortunate. If there's anything I can do to help, you know, I'm no doctor, but
You've always wanted to play one on TV?
I've always wanted to play one on a Twitch stream. So let me help.
What would your doctor name be? Like, would you stick with your real name, or would you be like, would you have like a doctor name, like a persona?
Yeah, I guess it depends on what I'm the doctor of. If I'm the doctor of,
yeah, I guess. Well, you're playing doctor. I guess you get to choose.
you know what? I don't want to be a doctor. There's too much pressure. I'm gonna be a governor.
Governor or Givener?
Governor, a givener. Exactly. I'm the governor, a givener.
That you are, my friend.
What about you? Would you have a doctor name?
No, I've never wanted to be a doctor. It's not my jam.
Wait, you danced on the tables in Nice, France? I'm just reading this past message back there. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Like
Oh.
for money?
Let's all go to Nice.
I danced on the tables for money. But I did get people to dance on the tables for free.
Skills.
Pays the bills. Well, it didn't actually. Although I lived at the hostel for free.
Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that was all right. And I also drank a lot.
Is that where it all started?
No, but I remember like being 2 months into the job and waking up one day. And so my routine was wake up, go to the pool, be in the pool for the pool or the ocean, depending on the day.
Right.
Or until I had to go to work, basically. And then go to work, do all the setup, go around all the rooms, talk to all the people, go to the kitchen and hang out with the kitchen people and shoot the shit and then have a bite to eat and then start the day. And then, you know, the thing with everybody that's traveling in Australia is people are very generous in general. They're all doing the same thing. Like everybody's in the same situation, right? They're traveling and trying to have a good time. So, you know, you're not just serving drinks. Like everybody wants you to be drinking with them. So they'd buy a pitcher and then buy a pitcher for the bar staff. And it's like, well, we can't not do it.
Right.
But when I left there and I went south from there, it was so from Harvey Bay, I went to Byron Bay in Brisbane, and then continued on down to we did Canberra. We went in a bit and did Canberra, but for like that next month, I didn't drink at all. It was just like
too much.
Over it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Doing it for a living is.
It's a lot different than just like being like, oh, it's been a day, I'd like a beverage, or oh, it's Friday or whatever reason you have.
It's very social there. It absolutely is. It's a very friendly place, and I find that there's a lot of similarities between culture with Canadians and Australians. So, uh, hit it off with the locals so easily. Like, you just, oh, where are you from? I'm from Canada. Oh, it's blah, blah. Like, we're both Commonwealths. We both know that the Queen is,
The Queen.
just a figurehead, just on our money.
Yeah. All of it.
What's up, Webbo? How you doing?
Hey, Webbo.
What are we drawing now, Doug?
A lady. She's sitting down.
Oh, okay. Was having trouble making it out.
That's fair. Well, now that I'm seeing what you're seeing. Yeah, but you wait. It's gonna pop.
Okay, because it looks pretty serpent-like at this point.
Well, you know how I feel about that, so that's not happening.
Yeah, well, fair enough. Fair enough. That's why I'm wondering, like, you're saying earlier that you would like to go to Adelaide or maybe now Brisbane, right?
Well, as long as there's no snakes, I'll go. So if I'll stay in the city. Is there
Okay,
snakes in the
let's
city?
pretend there's no snakes in the city.
Yeah,
Let's also pretend that there's no snakes in the country, and then you can just do whatever you want.
I like that game. Yeah. Did I tell you about the snakes in Singapore? I probably have.
Do tell that story.
Well, I don't know if everyone's already heard it. But I'll tell you, since you asked. So in Singapore, as you know, it's all the buildings are tall, and they've kind of like ran all the nature animals there, like orangutans, snakes, and whatnot, like into like essentially the ditches or like what's left of the jungle. It's kind of there. Or they've even in some cases taken them out of the country and over to Malaysia or wherever. And before I was coming back home to Canada, I did my best. Like, I don't mind lizards. There's a lot of monitor lizards and stuff there. So I'm happy to go. Like, they don't freak me out. They have legs. It's all cool. Even though they resemble a lot like a snake in terms of their look and feel. So I was watching the news a little bit before I was leaving, probably about 2 weeks out. And they were just kind of showing how, they've been finding these essentially city pythons eating cats in the streets because they're just kind of they're running out of food, and there's just not a lot for them there. So they said this also reminds us of this news clip, and they showed it from a ways back that these two police officers were probably 5'2", were pulling it was a 12-foot python out of a toilet on the 9th floor of an apartment building.
Oh my God.
I didn't shit much for 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's like, how do you sit down after that? And do you think it went up, right? It had to go up.
Absolutely.
But when they found it, was it coming back down?
No, it was coming out of the toilet into the apartment.
Out. Oh yeah. To eat the cat. Find a cat. You got any?
Yes.
You got any cats here?
Yeah, I
It's
saw the cat.
Yeah, I would rather Alf come in. It's like, Alf, you can have the cat.
Yep.
You're not
a
snake.
You're all.
Does this happen in the States? If you're driving and have to stop to let another car pass, do you put your hand up to say thank you? Absolutely, the thank you wave is a thing in Canada. I'm not positive about the States, but
the States is very different than Canada.
I even do the two fingers, or like I do the wave when somebody lets you merge in front of them. You give them the wave in the space between the two seats. You say thank you.
Yeah. You give them the old "how's she going?"
You give them the old "hey, what's going on?"
Yeah, what are you doing?
Rowie said they'll protect you from snakes if you go.
Oh my God, Rowie, best buds. I'll buy you all the beer.
The moment the DJ started playing danceable music, some guys began to dance on the tables. And I've been confused, but more and more people did it. Nobody at the bar staff had a problem with it. So we did it too. It was very funny. So when I was doing the party starter gig, it was early in the night, and my boss came into the bar, and he pulled me aside. He came up to the bar. I'm like, "Oh, hey Rob, what's going on?" And he's like, "Come here." I'm like, yes. He's like, "Why is there nobody dancing on the tables?" And I said, "Okay, you got to give me 2 songs, and I'll make it happen." So the way that I did that was I put one song on, and then I went and I cleared all the empty pitchers and glasses from the tables, but I did it by walking on all the tables. So that was to let the people know that it's okay to walk on the tables. And then I put a song on that was pumping, that was good enough that people were dancing where they were. And then I did the same thing. I sort of walked around on the tables, and then I was just pulling people up onto the tables. And the next thing you know, everybody in the bar was on the tables. And I went back to my boss and said, "How's that?" He's like, "I should give you a raise." I'm like, it's okay. I know you can't.
But he could have gave you a raisin.
He gave he's like, "You deserve a beer." And I'm like, "It's okay. I already took 3. It's fine." It's fine.
Oh, yeah. I love local breweries. I actually do branding for some here in Canada. So, yeah, it'd be right up my alley, Rowie. Thank you.
Local
Shane,
breweries.
you should come too.
You see them types. I'm a big craft beer.
Is this
fan.
resonating more with you now, Shane? Does this feel like anything, or is it still snaky?
Yes, I'm seeing what's going on. It's less serpent-like now and more ladylike.
I don't know if I'd give her that, but yeah, that's good. I gotta let it dry again.
Wavy Doug. You're in London, Webbo? No snakes there, I guess. You don't have to worry about snakes or anything there.
Is everything still closed in London? Like everything all shut down for transit?
What was it shut down completely?
Yeah, well, that's what I had heard, but that's why I'm checking.
Wait. London, Ontario?
Oh, I was talking London, England.
I think Webbo was too. I'm just making sure. I've been caught that way before. It's like, "Oh, I live in London." I'm like, "Oh my God, that's so amazing. You live in one of the biggest cities in the world." It's London, Ontario. It's gross here. It's not gross there. It's nice.
I haven't been. I've been to
You never been to London, Ontario?
No, but I've been to London, England a few times.
Have you? I'd love to go to London, England. I have not been. I was supposed to go with my dad, but it's just never materialized, and obviously it's getting harder and harder to travel.
Yeah, it's a challenge. To be fair, though, I haven't looked into it.
There's nothing going on there. It's just shut down.
Yeah, it's wild. A city that size completely shut down is pretty wild to me.
It must be eerie walking the streets. It's like talk to the guys, my friends in New York, and was it 2 years ago? There was a humongous snowstorm and the whole city shut down, and people were going out because it was just so bizarre to see the streets completely empty.
Yeah.
And now it's happening all over the world. Can't even get a haircut. Yeah, me either, but
I learned to cut my own. So yeah, it's been an interesting spell.
Yeah, I've grown my hair out again, and it's as long as it was in high school. Except now with my, and this year has been grueling on my hairline for some reason. And now I saw a picture of Benjamin Franklin the other day, and I'm like, "Oh, I better cut my hair." I was starting to look like
feeling a little real there.
Starting to look like Benjamin Franklin. Let me pull this up. Every time I make that joke to somebody who can see me, they laugh a lot. Exactly what I look like now. This is what my hair is looking like these days. It's not good. It's a sad state of affairs, friends. Sad state of affairs.
You do not look like that at all.
This is what I feel like. Like my hairline's been going back pretty fast this year.
Wow, that's like not a flattering photo.
No, and well, it's a painting, but that's fine. The
Wow.
but my hair's about this long right now, on the sides and back.
Mine is too. I'm just wearing it up.
Did Canada have a lockdown? Yeah, it depends on which part of Canada, but yes, we had a lockdown, and specifically, we're on the East Coast. We had a fairly aggressive lockdown at the start, and we're pretty much open. We had a little second wave stint there, but restaurants are open. People are going out. I think right now we have.
We're kind of in a
20
third wave right
active
now.
cases.
Yeah.
They shut down. They had more restrictions recently. It was 10 people gathering in households, 50 open air, and bars and restaurants were to close an hour earlier.
Correct. Yeah. 9.
But that's been lifted, and so we're back to bars and restaurants are closing at 11, I think.
Oh, is it? Okay.
And yeah, you can have home gatherings of like 15, and yeah, so we're doing pretty well. They're also saying that everybody is going to get their first dose of the vaccine by June.
Here?
Yeah.
Oh, that's way ahead of schedule than I'd heard.
So what they were doing was they were holding back second doses so that they could give people, and they're not going to do that because they've got the supply line good, so they're going to give everybody their first dose by June. And also there was a statement saying that the second dose should actually be further away than a couple of weeks or a month, and it should be 4 months down the road for it to work the best.
Oh, okay.
So that's why they're like, oh, we don't need to stockpile second doses, and so everybody's gonna get it. Apparently, I don't know logistically how they're gonna make that work.
Right, because you're not you're not a doctor, even though you wanted to play one on Twitch.
I like this. I shave mine because Dad is giving me Dr. Phil genes. But you know what? That's also Jean-Luc Picard genes.
Yeah.
Maybe you should look at it like that. It's Jean-Luc Picard, because that cut, that's a cut.
Cuts like a knife.
Has been the same in Berlin. Our hairdressers just opened 5 days ago. Wow. You always cut your own hair? I used to cut my own hair. Kind of like Doug, actually. Shaved underneath and at the back, and then.
Do you realize what you just said?
No.
Like Doug, actually.
Like Doug, actually. That's the name of the show.
You weren't meant
So
to use the voice, but yeah.
My hair is Benjamin Franklin on top and Doug Belding on the underneath.
Sounds inappropriate.
It is inappropriate. It's so bad.
It's all good.
Yeah, the haircuts is the thing. I never liked haircuts when it was real times, let alone in this time. Are they calling you Dr. Phil? They gotta call you Jean-Luc Picard, man.
You gotta sort that out.
Yeah, that's the strong, sexy, bald man.
Oh, Jason Statham, he's a sexy bald man.
Yeah, people give him a lot of props for being sexy.
Yep.
And apparently he can drive a car.
He drives some of my favorite cars. Here we go, Shane. Less snaky.
Oh, yeah. You know what kind of looks like? Oh, hey, I wanted to bring something up, Doug, and I don't know if you want to talk about this or not, but I would like to bring it up anyway, because
Because it's gonna make me uncomfortable.
no. So one of the things about being an artist for hire is that,
Yeah.
and this goes for anything. This goes for musicians. This goes for photographers. This goes for anybody that sells their artistic services. There's 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 sort of two conflicting ways to think about it, and it's like you need your art to express yourself and be fulfill yourself as a person, right? And I think this goes for a lot of people. There is some creative outlet for everybody, whether or not that's what people consider art or not, or whatever.
Right.
But
Yeah.
but it's interesting because when you're doing work for a client, it's a little bit of both, right? You're selling it and you have to do what they want you to do, but at the same time you're using all the skills you've learned from making art, the many years that you did to be able to do it. What can be frustrating, and this is, again, I'm speaking from personal experience and also from observation, is that sometimes you do something and it's amazing and they don't want it and they don't like it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So what I would like to see is that bear drawing you did.
Oh. Yeah.
I want you to show the people the bears. I absolutely love these bears.
All of the bears?
Just the ones that I liked with the green and orange coat.
Hold on, I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna get down. I'm gonna get it.
Ah! Blame it on the boogie. Blame it on the boogie. Yeah, and I don't know if you want to tell the story or not, but I did want to show the people these bears because they are. I don't know. I kind of also think that one looks like me and one looks like you, but it's just how I kind of put it together.
Okay, so back to Rowie, the beer company I work with. One of them was looking for a new beer label, and kind of the gist of it was, can we use kind of paper techniques? And you know how sometimes like you draw or you see these drawings of like warped perspective, but then if you look at it from a certain way, it looks like it's standing up or something like that. So they were kind of like, can we do something like that? And so I was like, okay, well, let's play around with it. It's an interesting approach, but also how do you put that on a round can to make it make sense and also look at the can at a certain angle? And so, there's some work to go into even how that could possibly even translate to your eye. And also too, how do you convince a person to tilt the can a certain way before they drink it? But the thought was, oh, you can do it while you're drinking this way, but realistically the way the can's shaped, you never see past here, so you never see the back of the can. So anyhow, long story short, that wasn't going to work. But so I kind of got into the idea of playing with like paper cutouts and putting that on there. It's kind of a different texture, almost kind of like layering it as if you would like an animation in a way. So kind of having a background color or scheme. And I was thinking about putting these like bears because, well, actually Bia and Shane and I were talking about this, and it's for a porter, and they wanted like a bold porter, and we were kind of like, what comes to mind for that? And Bia was like, it's very social.
Brainstorm sesh.
Exactly, yeah. So, which was awesome. So, Bia was like, it's about community and kind of like getting together. Shane was like, I kind of think about like something cozy and warm, kind of wintry. So I kind of put some ideas together, and I was like, well, the porter is really kind of like a dark and chocolatey and coffee and that kind of stuff. I was like, well, what's kind of fun and interesting and would be playful? And then would kind of pop on a shelf, like, because you're always competing. If you aren't familiar with a brand, you're going to grab it by the label and what type of beer it is. But that's essentially all you have to go on if you haven't tried a bunch of craft beers. So I was like, well, what would kind of appeal to the masses? It could be different age demographics, different genders, different income levels. What would appeal? So based on the sense of community and the camaraderie and appealing to the masses, I thought these little bears having a little get together in the woods, all cozy, roasting marshmallows, and they're kind of like chocolate bears, would be pretty cute on a beer can.
Absolutely. Look at them. Look at them.
They're having a time.
Oh man, I just love those little bastards.
Thanks, Shane. The client did not. So again, yeah, to your point, you know, and that's kind of the thing is too, like you kind of have to take it to the masses and be like, what do they like? And even doing that, sometimes the client doesn't always believe what the people want. They just want to sometimes do what they want to do. So yeah, it can be challenging for sure, if that's answering your question.
It is. I just wanted to see the bears, and
Oh,
you know.
yeah. I mean, and the
Obviously,
label, the label
yeah.
we came up with was really on point for what they were looking for too, because they had an idea in their head that they wanted this to be portrayed as, and we made it work. It just wasn't cute bears, and Shane really likes the cute bears. So
Yeah,
Shane-
and
Shane gets
there's no accounting for taste. You know, people don't like the cute bears.
Well, they have they have a vision and an idea what they want this to be, and
which is
hey, I totally
which
get
is
that.
fair. And I mean,
Yeah.
there's a back and forth with that, but
Yep.
you know, I was like, if I saw those, I'd be like, would you put this on a beer can? Absolutely, I'd put that on a beer can. I'd put that
You'd
on
have
a
bought the whole
t-shirt and a
case
hat.
because yes, you would have bought the outfit, you would have bought the case of beer, and yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think those bears should make a repeat appearance on the stream from time to time. And if and when we get affiliated, I would love to see those as emotes. I think that would be
Yeah.
very cute.
Cool. So yeah, I think that sounds wicked. We'll do that. I promise.
Yeah, too cute is probably what it is. And you're right, it does seem like illustrations in a children's book, you know, but there's other iterations of that. Doug had a really nice, sophisticated couple of bears roasting some marshmallows, and
Yeah, I could look for that. Do you
there's
want that?
iteration here.
Do you want that or no? I can look for it.
Do I want?
Do you want to see the other bears?
Oh, no, if it's going to take some doing, it's okay. We can show it another time, but you
Well,
know,
we're
it
talking
just,
about it.
I just talking to chat here. Maybe the client didn't like it because the style, just the style. And it's like, yeah, there was other styles as well. But I mean, that's the thing with the clients. You got to go, there is back and forth, and you know, maybe it doesn't fit the branding that they're thinking of. So, but that's the whole, you know, two ways about being an artist that for hire, right? There is, you have to kind of put the emotion and personal investment into each piece of art aside when somebody's like, I don't like that, because it's not necessarily a personal thing. This is so good too. I love the one he's like waving. It's like, hello.
Yeah, he's like, take me home and drink this. So yeah,
And see,
so
this seems cozy and exactly sort of what we were talking about in the brainstorming session.
yeah,
Like, this is, yeah.
so that was the iteration. So
Yeah,
after the
for
cutesy
sure.
wasn't gonna work, then I was like, okay, well, let's go for a little more realism, but still fun and playful. Obviously, bears don't roast marshmallows often, and so yeah. But yeah, I thought they were fun. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done it.
Yeah, it's just, it is interesting that whole, you know, process can take you down some roads, you know.
Yeah, totally.
It's almost like you did bears doing marshmallows 3 ways.
That sounds like a great recipe. Not the bear part, but like maybe we can come up with a dessert. Oh, you know what? We should create a whole cooking book off this show.
We could totally do it. As a hired artist, you can't put your ego first. No, and you can't get too invested in
No,
things.
gosh, no. You know
Like,
what?
you can't put too much emotional investment in something for a client, because they can be totally right and be like, yeah, this doesn't fit our brand, and it can be crushing to you if you put too much emotional investment in it.
Well, I don't
That
know.
doesn't mean that you can't make. It doesn't mean that you can't make art with emotion in it. It's just you can't tie it to their reactions to things.
I don't know. I kind of I'm two ways on that, not three ways, because I think it comes down to more communication. So it's a bit of hand holding, but I find that part of the skill that is more so than design is actually listening and giving back people what they're saying. And when you're giving it back to them, wrap it in the rationale, but not a bullshit rationale. Like actually, like, you know, you mentioned you wanted something warm and cozy. So I'm just using Shane's descriptions and Bia's descriptions and sense of community. So I was pulling the bears from that conversation, not a conversation I had with the client. But I was trying to come up with a different pitch that I could take back to them, because the other one was proving to be quite challenging. So just, you know, have something in your back pocket. So with that idea, you know, that kind of comes with that. But I think, you know, being communicative about that and explaining why, they're like, yeah, it's, you know, the client said, it's cute, it's fun, but it's just not what I'm envisioning for this. So, yeah, I don't know. I kind of think for me, it's one thing I try to bring to the table with all clients is essentially hear them out and then try to, in some ways, sell Sally what Sally wants, because that's important. Sally came to you to buy whatever Sally's after. But also Sally came to you because you're you generally, or Sally came because you're the right price point. Depends on what Sally's motives are. But, you know, you're going to have to build that relationship. Otherwise, you know, it's that age-old thing where it's like, how much does it cost for a logo? It's like, depends on how long it takes to get there. It could take a day. It could take 2 years. So it doesn't have a price point. And that's why I always find it funny when it's like, well, I can get a logo on that website for $5. I'm like, well, then you should do that, because your competition is going to have the same one.
Yeah, and you, like you said, you know, they came to you for a reason. You have to be true to your style, or the reason they came to you kind of goes away.
Right.
And the reason the next person comes to you won't be the same as, you know. So you need to be true to yourself and true to your style if you're selling your art. But yeah, it's such a hard, fine line to walk, right? You don't want to whore yourself out just to get the money. But
well,
at the same time, you gotta put food on your table.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, I think until you can get to a point where you get to choose your clients a bit, you do kind of have to be a little bit of a whore. But that's with anything. We're all whores, Shane.
That's true.
If anyone says otherwise, they're silly.
It's true. I do feel it on the day-to-day.
Yeah. I mean, if you didn't need whatever you're getting from that situation, is that really how you'd spend your day? Maybe not.
Oh, no. No.
Sounds like a hard.
If I wasn't getting money from work, I wouldn't be working. Right. Not doing what I'm doing anyway. I mean,
right.
I don't hate what I'm doing, and I do put effort into it, and I'm, you know, I'd like to think that I'm fairly decent at it. But at the end of the day, if somebody said to me, oh man, like you can make just as much money by doing the things that you like to do, I'd be like, oh, okay, well,
let's give
that. That would definitely go away.
Yeah. And I think that's probably pretty true to most people.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You got to pay the bills. You got to do like this. You know, it's funny seeing these people who have made money doing what they love to do, and you see them talk, and you know, it's just like, oh, you know, if you're an artist, just do what you love to do, and you know, everything will work out, and you'll be making, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars like I am. You just have to be passionate and true to yourself. And it's like, no, man, that's not the case for everybody.
Mm-hmm. No, you gotta have something a little unique and approachable and interesting, and at least in my experience.
In some cases you gotta be, like, I'm just talking about from a music perspective. In a lot of cases, you gotta be extremely lucky. There are amazing bands that have never made it, and they're just so good. Like,
Yeah,
they're
I
amazing at
mean,
what they do. They put on amazing shows. They put all their all into it. And you talk to them, and it's like they don't know where their next paycheck is coming from. They're doing carpentry on the side. Like, you're like, how is this band not made like hundreds of thousands of dollars? And it's just like they just haven't been lucky enough. Like, they've played tons of shows. They've got a okay following. Like, people have heard them. It's not at the right time, or it's not the right market, or I don't know. Like, there's a million ways that it cannot work. So to see these guys that have been lucky and been at the right place at the right time, been in the groups with the right people, and been given certain opportunities that maybe somebody else didn't get, to just tell you that, oh, you just need to follow your passion. Like, it's like, okay, but I still gotta buy a bag of pasta and some pasta sauce, you know? Like, it's still gotta work.
And the good kind. I want something tasty. Have you been to Nashville before, Shane?
No, I'd love to go, but I have not been to Tennessee at all, even though I did own a little bit of land there for a short amount of time.
Oh, is it gone? Your land?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's gone, and it was a pain to get rid of it.
really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because if you're Canadian and if you're Canadian and selling something in the States, it's there's a whole rigmarole.
Interesting.
What about you? You been to Nashville?
Plenty, yeah. I like it. And I was gonna get to your point. It's like, you'll go down the main drag, and there's like all these like bands playing in all the restaurants or bars or whatever, and they're all like, holy smokes, this is amazing. And not that I'm a big country fan, but certainly talent and who can sing and whatnot, and they're just kind of like, how is it that you're not on the radio and like Lyle Lovett is?
Oh,
No,
come
not
on.
Lyle Lovett. Lyle
Nothing
who?
wrong with Lyle Lovett.
Is that the one that was married to Julia Roberts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bigger question about that is not okay. So he's a Nashville guy too, right?
I don't know. Probably.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna double check, but I think he is the exact thing that you're talking about. Only the one successful version of that.
Oh, they found him in a bar, and that was that.
Like, he's one of those working musicians. Let me double check before I
give him a prize.
Yeah, before I keep on spouting my. I think he did this when I don't actually know.
That's fair.
No, not Nashville, Texas.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I know what you're saying. It's like there's all these, and also Nashville is like basically the music capital of the States.
Yeah.
Especially for that Americana, country roots, blues, those kind of things. It sort of gravitates towards Nashville. Same with like jazz in New Orleans, right? You go to any bar and you're going to see some smoking musicians who are just scraping by.
And smoking. Literally.
Smoking. Yeah. Can we talk about Lyle Lovett for a second, though?
If we must.
He's a very not attractive man.
Correct.
I don't mean to be rude, but he was married to... Was married to?
No, was.
Arguably, and at the time that they got married, arguably the hottest movie star of that era, right? She made a ton of money, ton of big movies.
Big time. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this is so rude to say. Maybe I won't say it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's probably better. How long were they together? I just don't understand how they got together is all.
Maybe she was just tired of Richard Gere calling her up.
Oh, was that after Gear? 93 to 95.
Yeah. Yeah, Gear was after Pretty Woman, which was way before that.
93 to 95. She has 3 children.
Yeah.
Daniel Moder is her current spouse.
Yeah, he was a cameraman, but then he sold the tequila with George Clooney. And now he's
cinematography.
Really rich.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Tequila.
Yep. Remember he sold the tequila business for $1 billion?
$1 billion?
Yeah. They only had it for like a few years. Like, I don't even think they had it for 10 years.
It was this guy and Clooney.
Yeah.
Clooney, tequila. You know, I like to talk about. Clooney.
You love George Clooney.
What's not to love?
If I knew, I wouldn't dare tell you.
No, he wasn't in that.
No?
It was George Clooney, Rondé Gerber, and Mike Meldman.
Oh, I don't know those other people.
$700 million is what they sold it for. Crazy.
Yeah. Because they needed the money, I'm sure.
Plus a further $300 million based on the brand's performance. So, like you said, $1 billion.
Yeah. Wild, eh?
Nightlife entrepreneur Rondé Gerber.
Rondé.
Rondé.
Is it Randy or Rondé?
No, it's Rande. Rondé.
Huh.
Oh, married to Cindy Crawford.
That's who it was. Sorry, I had the wrong 90s hot lady.
How much of Nova Scotia have you guys seen? I saw a lot of documentaries about it, but I know from myself that I often don't see much of the places I'm living at.
I've seen a lot. Yep. Is there any place that you're curious about?
I booted around the place. I mean, I don't think I've done. Well, that's not true. I was gonna say I don't think I've done the touristy stuff, but
Oh
I
god,
think I have.
I did this year. I totally did all the touristy stuff.
Been to Peggy's Cove a bunch, and a bunch of the trails around there too.
You've been to Polly's Cove? Polly's
no.
Cove's a good one. That's Peggy's sister. And
Oh,
it's
Peggy's
next
sister
door.
Polly. Right.
Yep. No, I'm not kidding. It's real.
No, I believe you. Have you been to Shad Bay?
I have. I almost bought a house down there.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Shad Bay. What's the one with the aliens? Is that Shad Bay?
I'm unclear about the aliens. Tell me more.
Aliens. Hold on. Aliens, Nova Scotia is all I have to do, and it'll tell me. I spent some. We played a bunch of shows down there. And Shag Harbor. I was close. Shad
Where?
Bay, Shag Harbor.
Shag Harbor sounds familiar. Is that on the eastern? Out your way?
No, it's down south.
Really?
Yeah. It's past Shelburne, like basically on the southeastern tip. And it's like Canada. It's like Nova Scotia's Roswell. So like there's like the UFO museum and the crash site of the UFO in Shag Harbor.
I know nothing about this. This is pretty cool.
1967 Shag Harbor incident. Let me look it up. I'll tell you a little bit more about it.
Please do. I love learning new things.
Great name for a harbor, Shag Harbor.
Well, it's named after a bird.
Oh, is it? I thought it was named after sex.
Right. But no, actually a shag is a cormorant. You know those birds that hang their wings out and it looks like they're drying their wings out? One of those.
Yeah.
They're a dirty old
I
shag.
have those on, yeah, okay. Interesting.
As my dad would call them.
Yeah, I know that Rowie and Webbo would think that it was named after sex.
Correct.
I get cormorants on my dock all the time, and they just stand there with their wings out.
You still get the ducks?
Oh yeah, lots of ducks, geese, cormorants, eagles. What's the big one? The one that's bigger than an eagle.
What's bigger than
an bird eagle? That's here.
A condor?
I can't believe I can't remember the name of it. The eagles will chase them away. Oh.
I didn't know we had anything bigger than an eagle here.
They make their nests in telephone poles.
Osprey? They're not bigger.
Osprey.
They're smaller than an eagle. No way. I have 4 living at the end of my street in a telephone pole.
I saw one that was humongous, and the 4 eagles chased it all the way over the lake and out of the city. It was like, get out of here! This is mine. And it was massive. Like, it was so big.
Interesting.
Osprey. Yeah. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe there's just one huge one. I don't know. How big are they supposed to be?
Like hawk size, I think.
Have you ever been to in Lunenburg? Yes, absolutely. They're having very German roots there. Yeah.
I have my cottage isn't far from Lunenburg, about 10 minutes away. In La Have.
The La Have River.
Oh yes, the La Haves.
The bakery there is supposed to be amazing.
You know what? It's all right. But the Plowman's Lunch, a little farther down the road, closer to Crescent Beach.
Yeah,
it's my pick.
Yeah, I'll go hang out in La Have.
Totally. Let's go to La Have and we'll watch Goonies.
Oh my God, sounds great. We should do that. Oh man, can we do that on stream? Hold on, let me check. We might be able to do that on stream.
Cool.
Let me see. If Prime Video has it, we can do it. Might have to do it on my stream, but we can do it. I don't think it has it though. Let me check. No, not possible.
Why does it have to be on Prime?
So Amazon owns Twitch.
Oh, okay.
And what you can do is you can have a watch party where you can watch. You can watch on stream a television show or movie, but it has to be on Prime because it's all connected.
That makes a lot of sense.
I actually think it's a pretty neat little, add-on to the whole thing. That's looking cool. I like the angle where it's from above and they're all twisted up.
Yeah. Good eye.
Thank you.
Some say you have 2.
2 eyes?
2 eyes. Ah. Well, that's good times. What's happening now?
I just want to tell you a little bit about the Shag Harbor thing.
Sure.
Which is the UFOs. I will say that last week we promised a Dave to Flav or a Dare to Flare, depending on how you see it. Are you up for a Dare to Flare, Doug?
Absolutely. So,
Dave to Flav.
Dave to Flav. That's me as a little monster. That's my little dance.
I like it. So I'll just throw this out here since we're about to talk a little bit a little bit about a UFO incident.
Mm-hmm.
I would like you to draw from your own mind some sort of alien, and there are no restrictions here
Okay.
except for time. There's a time restriction.
Okay. Just
And there
waving
should
Doug.
be some waving Doug in there.
Bia, look up a place called Hurtles Beach, Hirtles. Amazing architecture is out that way, and it's all a lot of German roots are out there with some beautiful, beautiful homes, and it's very close to Lunenburg. Back to waving aliens. Okay.
Okay.
What's my time limit?
What is the time limit? Let's see. I meant to double check the being able to set the time, and I forgot. So we're gonna do this old school again. I like 7 minutes. Are you okay with 7 minutes, Doug?
Yeah, could I have 30 seconds to think on it?
You can absolutely have 30 seconds to think on it. You can have as much time as you want. You can say, I gotta get my art ready, like my art supplies ready, and just like it's gonna be a minute until I get my pencils sharpened.
Oh, I got to
coffee
sharpen my
grinder,
pencil.
pencil sharpener, and that sounds exactly like it sounds like a perfect pencil sharpener. Now that I know that it's a pencil sharpener.
Perfect.
Okay, I gotta set up my timer anyway.
Okay.
It can be anything, by the way, because it's not tied to any other than, you know, I'm gonna try and tell you guys a little bit about Shag Harbor without ever researching it.
Yeah. I know I'm conflicted. So like, do I make one of those birds into an alien? Do I make me into an alien? Why do I have schmutz on my forehead?
Okay, let's take two minutes because here's what I want to do. Here's my plan.
Okay.
I'm going to quickly use the washroom because I have to pee, and if I don't pee, I'm gonna have to pee in a jar, which is I'm in my own house. I think I can go pee. I'm gonna go pee. I'm gonna grab a quick drink, and then I'll be right back. Why don't you take a minute?
Yeah.
And think about these things. Maybe get your art supplies together.
I'm gonna do it the same style I've been doing all night. So
that sounds good to me. I mean,
Yeah.
you're in a groove.
Yeah.
You know.
So, but Bia saying do a sexy alien.
Oh my goodness, everything's got to be sexy.
Yeah. Well, I want to know more about like what. Tell me.
You guys work this out. I'll be right back.
We will. Don't you worry, Shane. What to you defines sexy? Besides a banana. Is it a posture? Is it an expression? Is it articles of clothing? If that's our brand, then yes, okay, we'll go with that. All right, I'm gonna think about this. All right. I have to wait for Shane to come back. So what's on the go tonight?
Hello?
Hi. There you go. Okay, I would agree with that totally. So, Shane, welcome back.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
you can get caught up in chat, and I wholeheartedly agree with Bia. Sexy is less about a look, it's more about a feel, characteristic, and intelligence. It totally makes sense.
Yeah, there is some aesthetic qualities to it, though.
Mm-hmm.
But it is an attitude, and it's
some sass.
There's some something there, right? Like things that one finds sexy, one other might not.
Very true. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'm ready when
alien?
you are. Yeah, sexy.
I am ready.
Alien.
I'm ready.
Okay.
7 minutes starting now. You.
Boom. Okay, you talk about stuff now.
Okay, so on the night of October 4th, 1967, at about 11:20 p.m. Atlantic Daylight Time, ADT, something had crashed into the waters of Shag Harbor. There was at least 11 people, which was probably half of the population of Shag Harbor, saw a low-flying object heading towards the harbor. There was a lot of witnesses who heard like a bomb or like a whoosh and like a big crash. The object was never officially identified, and therefore, wow, that's very Nova Scotian. Therefore,
Yes, bye.
Was referred to as a UFO. And like even in like official Canadian documents, they're like it was a UFO, but they're like it wasn't an alien UFO. It just we don't know what it was.
Right.
So the military showed up to this small fishing village. So Shag Harbor is, like I said, it's in the southeastern part of Nova Scotia. It's basically a fishing village. I'm gonna find out what the population is here. I was gonna say 902, but that's the area code. The population is half of that. It's 450 people. So
really
very, very low. So it's funny. Like I wasn't joking when it's like 11 people saw it. That's half the population. Well, it's 22, and you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So of course this spreads like wildfire through all the communities. Oh, we saw a UFO. Saw 3 large glowing objects into the sky, and then they crashed into the waters. Anyway, so a bunch of fishermen obviously got in their boat and went out, and they started finding like pieces of this stuff. And then of course the RCMP and the military came out and like shut down that whole what would you call it, DIY crowdsourcing investigation of this.
Right.
So at first, of course, they assumed that it was aircraft that had crashed.
Yep.
It's like, but they checked with Halifax, which is the closest airport, and they're like, no, nothing should have been
in your area.
Yeah, that seems weird. All the fishing boats went out looking, like I said, they were all looky-loos, and they were making sure that if it was an airline crash, that they could save the people.
Right. Yeah.
So there, and of course on the east coast of Canada, there's a bunch of like bases and stuff, like military bases. So they checked all those, and no, it's like, yeah, no, we have all our aircraft. There's aircraft here. There's aircraft there. So like it was truly an unidentified flying object had crashed into Shag Harbor, and to this day they don't know what it is. And you know, obviously there's theories around forever, but of course Shag Harbor, like all the people in southeastern Nova Scotia, like was like, okay, you know, it's a UFO. A UFO crashed here. This is Canada's Roswell, or I'd say Canada's Roswell, because I'm sure there's bigger bits.
I bet Alberta has some Roswells.
I don't doubt it, man. Alberta was probably real UFOs out there.
Yeah.
Not to say that this wasn't real. It was a real UFO. Whether it was aliens or not, that's a different story.
That's for the debaters. which is a great show on CBC if no one knows.
I love that show. I love that show so much. So much.
Yeah.
If you're Canadian and you don't know the debaters, give it a go.
You're not
It's
Canadian.
on CBC. I like this. Daryl Dory and his sister Annette and his mother were sitting on their front porch in Mahone Bay. They don't name
Their last name is Dory. That's pretty phenomenal for a fishing village.
Right? It's probably because they made dories.
Yeah. Maybe they are
When
the
they
originators.
They noticed a large object maneuvering about the southwestern horizon. The next day, Daryl wrote a letter to RCAF Greenwood Base commander asking what was flying over the water that evening, as he had never seen anything like it. Apparently, a plane that was flying from here to Toronto
Yeah.
also saw this unidentified flying object in the sky. Flight 305 that there was something strange on the left side of the aircraft at 7:15. In his report, the captain reported an object tracking along a parallel course a few miles away. He described it as brilliantly lit, rectangular object with string of smaller lights trailing. At 7:19, the pilots noticed a sizable silent explosion near the large object. 2 minutes later, a second explosion occurred, which faded to a blue cloud around the object. It was like all the first-hand reports of it are very UFO, like alien UFO driven. It's like brilliant lights, a blue aura, string of blah blah blah. It made me feel like I was going to be abducted.
Mr. Dory was looking to get probed. Maybe.
Who was it? 30 seconds, Doug.
Okay. Woo!
Anyway, this is a very horrible telling of this story. There are definitely better accounts of this. This is me quickly scanning the Wikipedia page and yelling at you people.
Oh, thanks for yelling. Love it.
But I will encourage you to come to Nova Scotia, go to Shag Harbor, and see for yourself the wondrousness.
Or go to Oak Island and try to find some treasure.
Yeah, hold on. Let me. You keep, pencils down, but you keep
Pencils down? Oh, okay, sorry. Pencils down.
No. I said
No,
keep doing
I'm
what you're
good.
doing for 1 second because I'm just gonna put up an aerial photo of Shag Harbor for the peoples. So this is Shag Harbor from the sky. This could have been the view from
The ship.
the alien ship as it crashed. Lovely place, right about here, I think is where it went down. Okay, let's see the alien that crashed at Shag Harbor, Doug.
Okay. This is a sexy alien that crashed Shag Harbor.
Fantastic. Another great job, Doug.
Thank you.
It is quite impressive, your fast art skills. I do like the time limit. It really gives a little bit of a... They do say, restriction opens up creativity from time to time.
Yeah, I think if it's deadlines, will get things done.
I'm sure it's very intelligent, too. It's beautiful and intelligent.
It's, you know what? Art's whatever you need it to be.
I agree. It's very therapeutic for me, my art.
Yeah. My gosh. And that was the thing.
Well,
I
thank
was
you,
like,
Doug.
yeah, no problem. I was just going to talk about the babies, but I don't have to.
No, please, by all means.
The babies were just like a little last minute add-on. I thought, hey, little splatter, never hurt anyone.
Yeah, it was it while we were looking at aerial view of Shag Harbor.
Yeah, I thought the timing was perfect because you were just like not paying attention to me at all.
Oh, you mean so like the last hour and 40 minutes?
That's right, just like that.
That's what I'm here for, Doug.
I should put some of this stuff back up so people who are looking are like, why is that guy got an empty board?
Well, I got to tell you, I do like the new camera angles. It's nice to see the art on the right-hand screen. All the previous art that you've done. We got some chubby chicks. We've got the pair of adventurers in the top left there. I love that series, by the way. Always loved that series.
Thank you.
Oh, is that Stanley or Vivian? I can't tell them apart.
That's Vivian.
What's up, Vivi?
Hey, babies.
Talking about a sexy alien. Look at that fella.
Whoa. Well, thanks everybody for hanging out.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Have a good night.
All right, we're out. We'll be back next week, next Thursday. Thanks so much for hanging out, everybody.
Yep.
Have a good one.
Take care of each other and yourselves. Someone else is up, but I'm going to borrow it.
Bye.
Bye-bye.